With everything going on, is there such a thing as too much gold? What would you say if I said yes? Hey everyone, welcome to Campbell's Coins. Markets are falling, prices on everything like food, gas, water, electricity, the things that we need, those are soaring. The housing market is cooling rapidly, and the Fed just raised the interest rate 75 basis points. The question of having too much gold seems like a silly one. We have all heard those financial experts say that you should have 5 to 10% of your wealth in physical gold. They personally probably hold a lot more, but they tell you 10% for legal reasons. Also, the old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket, still rings true today. But what is a reasonable amount of gold? A lot of channels will focus on a number. Some will say that one can never have too much gold. I can't tell you what number is best for you. The number I give might not be feasible. Conversely, it might be too low. You have to determine what's right for you. However, I do have some other insight. The first thing people will think of with this topic will be in terms of investing. I don't believe that there can be too much gold, but as we have seen, gold is more of a placeholder in some instances rather than an investment. Look at these numbers. The Bitcoin market is down 48% from this day last year. The Dow is down 12% from this day last year. And gold? Well, gold is actually up 4% from this time last year. Not great, but certainly better than cryptos. We are at a point where there is a lot of talk about recession, even worse, a depression. In moments such as now, I'm glad I'm holding on to a decent amount of gold. The start of a recession is not the time to start offloading one's gold. This is when things are just starting to get good. During a recession, gold is great as that placeholder of cash while meeking out some decent gains. If and when investment opportunities present themselves, it's relatively easy to liquidate my gold for cash. The ease of liquidation comes from what I've advocated from the start. Gold coins that are popular in your area. For me, in the United States, this is the gold buffalo and the gold eagles. Heading into a recession or depression, I don't think one can hold enough gold. If you're too caught up in metals, you might not realize you're lacking in other areas. I'm not talking about tying up your cash reserves in metals to the point where you miss out on other financial opportunities. I'm talking about being prepared. We aren't living in 2001 after the dot-com bubble. We aren't living in 2008 and the market meltdown, which broke the back of the financial system. I don't like to be a fearmonger, but I also don't ignore the signs of things happening around me. 2020 and subsequent years have shown me that I should be prepared. This brings us to the meat and potatoes of this video. I believe everyone should be self-sufficient, and one shouldn't rely on others to survive. I firmly believe that one should have a store of food, water within their home, and the security to protect you, your loved ones, and your possessions. If you're lacking in these areas but have a lot of gold, you might want to transition your funds to bolster those areas. Many of these preppers and prepping channels will parrot the message that you can't eat gold or your gold will be stolen from you. Technically, they aren't wrong. Gold and silver stackers view a society as civilized. Preppers live in the Mad Max world where everything will be taken from you. I think that one can prepare for both situations. You can't eat or drink gold, but you can sure purchase food and drink with it. If we as a society are at a point where civilized transactions cannot take place, you'll want your own store of the necessities. If you don't have water storage, that is the first thing to get working on. You can go a week without food, but you won't last a few days without water. Food is next. There are a lot of different water jugs and containers out there that you can get. I happen to have one that you can fill in a bathtub. And so if you know something's going to happen, but you're going to be staying in your house, you can actually fill up your bathtub with this plastic liner, and it has like a spout that you can use. Also, I'm getting these stackable containers that you can fill up. You can get a whole bunch of sizes, 5 gallon, 10 gallon, 15, all the way up. Food is next. You can prepare your own food, start a garden, buy some survival food, or do all three. For survival food, there are a lot of options out there. Some are incredibly cheap and some are more expensive. Look for the ones with the 20 to 25 year shelf life. The cheaper options will tend to be higher in sodium and lower in protein. Although if you're using emergency food in a survival situation and you're hungry, I don't think you're going to be too finicky about it being healthy. I got a few of these ReadyWise buckets recently, but I haven't really tested them out yet. What's nice about them is each serving is individually wrapped and sealed within these stackable buckets. The buckets are also sealed. One of the most important things to have is security. You should be prepared to protect yourself, your family, and your possessions. Right now, there's a lot of people avidly working to remove the Second Amendment from you, and if you let them, they will take it. Take it from someone in California who saw and fought against the gun control here. Every time a bill is introduced, it's called sensible gun control. Why further gun control is needed when it's already been implemented is beyond me. If the previous ones didn't work, what makes you think the new ones will? That's because none of this is meant to be sensible. The end goal is the elimination of the Second Amendment. However slow, they chip it away. Fortunately, a lot of citizens in the United States had a rude awakening when it came to a defenseless society with the defund the police movement and the rioting and burning of their towns and cities. And they decided to go out and arm themselves. Hopefully, these folks will reach out to their congressmen and women to combat these further erosions to our rights. Didn't mean to get political here, but it's hard not to when talking about preparedness. If you have a good amount of gold already, but you're lacking in these aforementioned items, it might be a good idea to beef them up. If you believe you don't have enough gold and you're still lacking in these items, I would focus on getting your food, water, and security first. It's pretty easy to set up a budget and get a little bit of everything every month. One doesn't have to buy a full ounce of gold every month. You can get 1/10 of an ounce, 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce sizes, whatever fits your budget. Your time is your most precious asset, and I appreciate you spending it here with me. Thank you all for watching. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.